Recently, Joe Budden sat down with Nicki Minaj for a conversation about our new music, impact on the hip hop culture, and our future business moves. There's so many things that we could take away from this conversation, but today we're going to show you one of them. This is an Iwebu production.
Period.
Here's the other thing. Anytime a sound works, people just forget everything about who they are and jump on that sound. Right now, there's a particular kind of record that every female rapper is trying to do. And I got some songs that I thought, some hooks that felt like that. And I said, I can't do that. So in my opinion, I have to do me. I also wasn't gonna come out with a very explicit song because I feel like that's what everyone's doing. Everybody seems to be doing, something extremely explicit, or once anybody has success with anything, it seems like everybody just jumps on that sound. Even if they may not have even liked it, it might be people behind them telling them to do it. Once you do that, and once you do it a couple times, who then are you? We've now forgotten who you are.
Man, I really love that part of the interview.
Yeah,
like I hadn't heard anybody in the position that Nicki Minaj is in to keep it that real. Like
as a woman.
Yeah, as a woman.
That was really big. Yeah. Really big.
And so looking at that, I couldn't help but to think like, wow, like what does my wife think about this? And I couldn't wait to get her on the show today, like to be able to, it's just as someone who I love my wife, but also I'm a fan of hers.
Yeah.
And she's someone who's in a space that, a lot of this same type of stuff that she's talking about, people kind of lose who they actually are in there. And so, babe, tell me, what did you think about her comments just about that you kind of can lose who you are, kind of jumping on the next trend? What has been your experience with that? Tell me, like, what do you think?
Yeah, I think once again, like what you were saying, it was just dope to have a woman speak on it. She spoke even about how women are getting more, her words was explicit, but we know explicit is cursing, it's all of that, but she meant like nasty, like getting even more sexual. And I was actually just talking about this in another interview, and I see it, not the sexual part, but I see the trends being a thing that artists hop on in the Christian hip hop culture, just the type of sound. Because if somebody continuously sounds like Future and they're getting on and they're getting signed, and then you gotta be mindful of who's listening to your music or who's listening to music in general, and it's young people. Yeah,
the young culture loves that whole like Future sound, like that. Everyone.
They even move the same.
Oh yeah, they all move the same
type of move. Like
everyone's kind of like a copy of Migos and Future.
Yeah, it is.
Kind of duplicated.
This is no shade to people that do that, because like, hey, I tried a couple of times. I mean, and the crazy thing is, the time that I did try, it ran up the highest numbers.
No, it did. I remember
Fold.
that. Yeah, Never Fold. I remember my wife doing a song called Never Fold. You can go see it on her Spotify. It's her top stream song.
It is.
And at that time, the
kids loved
I really wasn't feeling like the whole extra, everyone doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But she did that and trying,
the culture.
just for the culture and trying to adapt to, because we're trying to grab the youth and things of that sort. So I think doing that, it helped, and it ran the numbers up, and Spotify picked it up.
I felt pressured to do that. I had no desire to do it. I felt pressured to do it from you as my manager. Like, hey, this is the sound.
You don't put the blame on me,
well,
y'all.
yeah, I mean, look, Nicki Minaj kept it 100. And she said, like, the people that back you, because the goal is to maximize the potential. The goal is to reach the masses. And so if we want to reach the masses, if we want to maximize potential, we got to know what the potential is listening to. What is the masses listening to? Okay, well then you got to do this if that's your goal. And I don't know if you remember, like, it was a couple of conversations we had with one of your friends, and he was like, what's your goal? Like, you can do this, you can do that, you can.
That man was going hard. Yeah, he was just going. We're not gonna say his name, but he was going hard that day. He eventually apologized. He did. Yeah.
But I remember in that moment where I was like, that's not my goal. Like, it's not my goal to reach the masses if I have to change who I am, and not change who I am, because a lot of people want to stick to who they are and it ain't good, or they need to get better. They need to become a better lyricist. I'm meaning taking away the originality that I have, which I'm a soul head. Like, that's what I listen to. I love soul music, from the Music Soul Child
All
to
day,
the
that's her.
Lauryn Hill to the Floetry, like all of that, you know, like that's what I listen to. And then I'm also grown, like with kids and married. So my perspective is really different than like the young single. I get to kick it every day. The lifestyle is different.
But
And
don't get it wrong. You're young.
that's
so
not
that's
what I'm
what
saying.
is different. Yeah.
Young, but my lifestyle is drastically different from the majority of the younger rappers that there is.
Yeah.
Like, and when I say young, I mean single, run, like able to kind of maneuver and do what they want to do. And so, yeah, I agree with her with the pressure. And I think it kind of sucks because I think about in the 90s or even early 2000s, but I think about how drastically different Lauryn Hill is from Erykah Badu. I think about how drastically different Eve is from Kim, and Foxy is from, like, Missy Elliott. They're so different.
You can tell the difference.
You knew the sound. You're like, that's Eve, that's Kim. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just
nowadays,
knew. Now it's like, is this Migos or Da Baby or Lil Baby or Frida Baby or like
which baby is it?
Which one? And they all sound the same. And in the Christian hip hop side too, it's like, okay, which one is this? Because there's this like sing rap thing that's going on now that I've even done.
Yeah.
And so, once again, no shade. I don't think it's shade. I think that if that's what you do, and if your goal is to make money, hey, baby, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But for those of us that literally, like a Kanye, who like, I just got to get this off of me because I was gifted with it. It wasn't never the attention to like get signed, do this, do that. Like, people just started hearing me and was like, hey, you should
dope. You can go somewhere
take
with
this serious. Like, and I'm like, okay, well, I can take it serious, but if that means neglecting what is gifted on the inside, my sound, being able to actually sing, being able to actually lead worship without auto-tune, like do these things, don't strip that away. And so I think it sucks. So culture, yes, I think has rejected originality. It's like, that's too weird. I can't get with it, you know, and that's why I like the hers, the what's that other girl? Got me boot up.
Oh, Ella May.
Got me about it, yeah. Ella May, like there are people in this generation that I do still think is original, but for the majority of it, there is a certain sound. Cardi B, Mulatto, City Girls, they all make the exact same type of songs. And the crazy thing is, I think Megan can actually rap, but they all make the same type of songs, and I think that sucks. Yeah,
it really does suck. I was just glad to see someone, like I said, of that caliber to say that, because I know that over, millions of people is gonna watch this interview, right?
Yeah.
And Nicki saying this, so maybe guys are like, you know what, man, I really did start out with a purpose, really doing it like this. And now the label's telling me that I need to make a song like this, Other Baby and the Baby and all of these other cats. You understand? Yeah. And that's what I've been doing. I really wish, babe, I'm an old soul. It is what it is. Love 90s R&B. That's really my thing. You understand me? But at the same time, I loved, the whole era when it was Jay-Z, the 2000 raps in the late 90s. You could tell the difference, like you said, like between the Jay-Z's, the DMX's, the Locks when they came on. You understand? Master P, the No Limit Crew, all of them.
And you know what? Even if they were talking about the same thing, their sound was so drastically different. DMX, I can hear when you say DMX name, you hear his voice. When you say Jay-Z, you can hear their voice. But and people can argue, like they talked about the same thing, being in the hood, smashing chicks, But the sound was still original. Like there was the sound. It's the sound that's no longer original. Yeah. The same. It's like everybody get in the booth and be like, "Hey, give me the auto tune that everybody else is using."
I'll be one. Sometimes I'm like, "Man, what's that?" Like,
I did it before.
I'm like, what is the auto tune setting that everybody's using?
I did. I went in the studio and I told my engineer, I was like, "Hey, can you give me the same thing that Migos and like everybody using right now?" And he was like, "Okay." What are you doing? But yeah, I do think we lost that. I definitely do. And I'm glad that she spoke up about it. I hope it does challenge the culture within music. Like, hey, y'all, get back to being, like she said at the very end, when you do all of this, now what are you left with? Who are you? What are you left? And I had to ask myself that, like,
I hope that many artists ask themselves that when someone of her caliber is saying that, like her, you know, the height that she's at in her career, you know what I'm saying, the queen is talking. And she's like, hey, listen, who are you?
But
like, let's get back to
the
it.
hard way too, though, because she did it.
Yeah, she did it.
She did what
she
they
didn't
wanted.
like what she did. You know, the art that she was putting out. Today, she still will kind of do some stuff that's for, like, you know, I guess the younger culture or whatever. But then she'll go back to the Nicki that we all loved and we knew back with the whole Young Money crew and all that when she first came out. And so I love that. So I'm glad that she said something about that. You know, I really wanted to really get your perspective on, you know, how did you feel about that? Because I was like, man, alarms, finally somebody saying something. Go ahead, babe.
But and then the last thing, I think hopping on trends is just a thing worldwide too. Because even when I think about Maverick music, now all the churches are in circles because they, you know what I'm saying? Like the type of writing that Maverick music does, now everyone is elevate. Like everybody hopped on the same thing. Yeah. And so
they see what's working and they're like, we're going to do the same thing.
Okay, y'all liking that? That's what's going viral. That's what's making money. Okay, we're going to do that. And to a certain extent, I think adjusting is okay. I think seeing some things, you know, if you see a genius, like, follow some of the blueprint, but just don't lose who you are, because you're made uniquely for a purpose. The very sound that you have, God gave to you purposely, and it's unique for a reason. So don't lose that. I hope an artist is
hearing that right now.
Yeah, don't lose that. Being so thirsty to get on, being so thirsty to get signed, to get the right cosign, to get put on. Like, don't lose that, because it's the exact thing that you're trying to hide or shove to the background that will get you on. And remember, God puts you on. You hear what I'm saying? Like, God puts you on.
That's facts.
So y'all let us know down below. Do y'all think that everyone is sounding the same? What do you think if the difference is between like the 90s music and today? We want to know what y'all think down below. If y'all watched the interview, let us know your thoughts.
Hey man, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you could do us a huge favor, please hit that like button and please subscribe.
Yes, and do not forget to hit that notification bell.
Yes.
We need y'all to be notified every single time we go live and when we drop a video. And follow us on all social media platforms at the Uweebu's, and we will see y'all next time on Radical Love with the Uweebu's.
We'll see you.